of television, you see. Now, you said absolutely unequivocally during the course of the campaign that even an outright Labour victory would be better than a hung Parliament. If this exit poll, and I agree it's a big if this exit poll is right, and the results we've got so far, we are going to get what you said would be a disaster for this country.
The quote you given is a slightly improved version of something I said before the election, but all the way through I've said a hung Parliament could be a disaster, and I still think it could be a disaster. Fortunately, this one, we don't know yet. I mean, let me put the caveat in that everybody else does, which is that it's very difficult to do exit polls in this particular election. The voting pattern is more complicated, so if it turns out to be right, it'll be a very good guess. The exit poll we're working on at the moment. It'll be different in different parts of the country, and we don't know where the Liberal votes are actually going to fall and what they're going to do to the balance between the other two parties in particular places. So it's very difficult. So, but it looks as though there's still a serious risk of a hung Parliament, but with the Conservatives not too far off, and obviously the biggest single party. The one certainty, I think, is that Gordon Brown has been removed from office. It would be a complete travesty if Gordon Brown tried to carry on as Prime Minister, even worse if he was made Prime Minister, because he's plainly been rejected and lost all authority to govern.
Kenneth Clarke, thank you. Just very quickly, Simon, you're shaking your head furiously.
The Tories can't have it both ways. They have always believed that the system is first past the post and you have to get more than half the people in Parliament. You can't then say, we haven't got the majority, but we still claim the right to govern. They absolutely have to be consistent. Now, some of us say we need a different system, but they've never said that.
I'm being instructed to hand back to David. David.
You're so obedient, Jeremy. What's got into you?
I'm being nice to you, David. Get on with it.
No, I won't go back to you for a bit. We'll go to Birmingham, Edgbaston, and join Patrick Byrne. Patrick, what's the story there? When are we going to get a result from Edgbaston?
Well, we're counting on a truly industrial scale here. They're doing everything they can down there to fast-track the Edgbaston count. It is famously an early declarer. It was the first marginal to declare in 1997 for New Labour, and the original estimate was something like 1245, but because of a higher-than-expected turnout, up in the upper 60s possibly in percentage terms, well, this, in common with other constituencies, just might be put back. The interesting thing is, talking to Conservatives in Edgbaston, is that they're becoming increasingly confident that they're seeing a swing in excess of that that's indicated by the BBC's exit poll, and they only need a swing of 2% to overturn Labour's notional majority of 1,500 held by Labour's Gisela Stewart. So there's increasingly confidence in the Conservative ranks that they've more than achieved that on an increased turnout.
Any idea when we get it?
Well, I'm hearing that it could be possibly 20-25 minutes later than the 12:45, so the other side of 1 o'clock.
OK, well, it's when we expect to get a lot of results in, isn't it, actually, that? I'm joined by Rory Kethlen-Jones, and you've been looking at Twitter and Facebook. Well, Facebook was actually taken down today, wasn't it, because there was somebody had got hacked into it. And